I thought I knew what pain was, but nothing prepares you for the moment you discover the person you trust most in the world has been living a double life. My wife was cheating on me. The woman I had built my life with, the woman I shared my dreams and future with, was secretly seeing other men. At first, the betrayal felt like it was ripping my heart out, but then things got worse. It wasn't just my marriage that was at stake. It was my health and the health of every man she'd been with. You see, my wife wasn't just cheating, she was carrying something dangerous. And the worst part, the men she was sleeping with had no idea. And neither did I. Every day, the realization of her betrayal dug deeper. The emotional pain was only the beginning. What she hid had much more severe consequences, not just for me, but for everyone involved. I'll never forget the day everything changed. It started like any other day, but I couldn't shake this gut feeling that something was off. My wife had been acting distant, distracted, like she was hiding something. I didn't want to overthink it, but that morning I noticed her phone buzzing constantly with messages. Curiosity got the better of me, and I made the choice that would shatter my world. I picked up her phone, and the moment I saw the name on the screen, my stomach dropped. There were dozens of messages, intimate, graphic conversations with multiple men. My hands were shaking as I scrolled through the endless stream of texts, each one another stab in my chest. I felt sick, my mind racing as I tried to make sense of it all. How long had this been going on? How many men had there been? It felt like my world was falling apart with each new message I read, but it didn't stop there. She had been seeing these men for months. It wasn't just emotional cheating, it was physical. The life I thought I knew was crumbling before my eyes. The betrayal cut deep, but little did I know, there was something even worse lurking beneath the surface. I thought the worst part of this nightmare was the betrayal, but then everything took a darker turn. A few days after discovering the truth, I started to notice something wasn't right with me either. At first, I brushed it off, thinking it was just stress, or maybe I was overthinking things. But when the symptoms didn't go away, I decided to see a doctor. I'll never forget the look on the doctor's face when he gave me the results. I had tested positive for an infection, a serious one. My heart was pounding. This wasn't just about my marriage anymore, it was about my health. And that's when it hit me. My wife, the woman I thought I knew, had put not only my emotional well-being, but my physical well-being at risk. And the worst part, I wasn't the only one. The men she had been with, they didn't know. She hadn't told any of them. I was left to deal with the consequences of her choices that had put countless lives in danger. My head was spinning, filled with anger and disbelief. How could someone I loved so much be responsible for so much harm? This wasn't just a betrayal of trust. It was a betrayal that could destroy lives. I knew I couldn't stay silent any longer. I had to confront her. When I finally got the courage to sit her down, I was shaking with anger and fear. I asked her, how long had she known? Why didn't she tell me? The expression on her face showed she didn't fully grasp the gravity of what she had done. At first, she tried to deny it, to downplay the situation, but the evidence was overwhelming. She couldn't hide anymore. When I told her about my diagnosis, she froze. She hadn't expected this. But what hurt the most wasn't just her silence or the lies. It was her refusal to take responsibility for what she had done. She made excuses, blaming everything and everyone else. But the truth was clear. She had put me and countless others at risk and acted like it didn't matter. I couldn't believe it. This wasn't the woman I thought I knew. My heart was pounding. How could someone I loved be so selfish, so reckless? In that moment, I realized this wasn't just about her cheating. It was about the danger she had caused and her refusal to accept the consequences. This was the moment everything changed. As the days passed, I couldn't stop thinking about everything that had happened. The betrayal, the lies, the risks, it was overwhelming. I had to walk away to protect myself physically and emotionally. But the damage was done. What I went through wasn't just heartbreak. It was a harsh reminder of how fragile trust can be and how one person's choices can ripple out to hurt so many others. I often wondered, did the other men even know? Were they still in danger? These thoughts haunted me. It wasn't just about what she had done to me, it was about the harm she had caused to so many others. I was left to pick up the pieces of my life, while she carried on without facing the consequences. Looking back, I've learned one thing. Betrayal doesn't just break your heart, it changes you. It makes you rethink everything you thought you knew about trust and safety. If you're going through something like this, protect yourself, speak up, and most importantly, don't let someone else's recklessness destroy your future. If this story resonated with you, leave a comment, hit like, and don't forget to subscribe. Your support helps bring more important stories to light.